السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، خاتم النبيين، شفيع المذنبين، رحمة للعالمين، مولانا وسيدنا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرض، أرواحنا له الفداء، وعجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد. Respected elders, brothers, sisters, we had said that on the Day of Judgment we'll be raised next to our graves. It will take some time for that kind of sleep and stupor which people will be afflicted with to dispel. So there will be a kind of moment of confusion, a moment of disbelief, a moment of shock as to what we are seeing. What will we see? We'll see multitudes of people. Imagine every person now has been resurrected from the time of Nabi Adam. And all the jinnat as well have been resurrected. So the earth will be full of multitudes of people. Now the body that we will have, or the appearance that we will have in the hereafter, will change. Everyone will not look the same. They will be recognizable for who they are, but they may not look exactly the same. Because in this world, just the way our own bodies right now are dependent upon cells, our cells determine the way we look and the way we are. So in Akhirat, what will happen is, we will have different types of cells which depend on our deeds that we did in the world. So those elements of our souls and our bodies will change accordingly. And therefore we will see different people in different forms. Some of these are going to be very disturbing and very scary. Some of them will be very amazing, brilliant, beautiful, fragrant. Some faces will be bright, others will be dark. Like we have in the dua of wuzu. We will come on to namaz and wuzu in the next 3 lectures after tomorrow's lecture, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Inshallah, we're going to concentrate on namaz. So what do we say during our wudu dua when we wash the face? Allahumma bayyidh wajhi yawma taswaddu fihi al-wujuh. Oh Allah, illuminate my face on that day when some faces will be blackened or darkened. وَلَا تُسَوِّدْ وَجْهِي يَوْمَ تَبْيَضُّ الْوُجُوهِ. And do not darken my face on the day when some will be illuminated and light. So different things will determine the way we appear. Some people will be blind, others will be terrified, others they'll be so scared that the color will drain from their faces. Some will be deaf, but they weren't deaf in this world. Some will appear with no flesh, they'll be just like a skull-like appearance. Who are these people? They are those who sold their religion in this world only to use it to earn their livelihood. We seek Allah's protection from this kind of thing. Some people will be tiny. They will be recognizable, but they will be tiny. They will be crushed and kicked around. Who are they? They are the arrogant ones. Because arrogance in this world is where you feel, I'm superior to everyone. Allah shows you no. In reality, you are inferior to everyone. To compensate for this feeling of inferiority, you showed yourself as big to everyone. Really, you are inferior to everybody. I'm going to narrate one hadith from the Holy Prophet, but I'm going to summarize it because we don't have time to discuss every word of it. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. 10 groups. Now, brothers and sisters, this is not, please, one more time, I'm going to repeat this. This is not to scare anyone. But it is foolish not to know these things. Okay? When you go to any new place, right? When you go to any new place, you are told, look, enjoy, stay, be our guest. But bear in mind, if there's a fire, that's the fire exit. If something happens, you need to do this. If you hear this kind of sound, you need to gather over here. So the warnings have to be there. These are not scary. These are just to prepare us so that we don't fall into these categories, inshallah. So the Holy Prophet says that 10 groups will be separated from my ummah. The ummah of Rasulullah is the best of ummah. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas, Quran says. You are the best nation that has been brought forth for people. However, on the Day of Judgment, some will fall short of this being an ummati of the Holy Prophet. So they will be separated. They will resemble the following. Some will resemble apes and monkeys. Who are these? These were the gossipers and slanderers. Some will resemble pigs. They consumed from unlawful sources. Some will undergo a reversal, so their feet and faces will change place. They will be dragged on their faces. These are those who used to take interest and usury. Some will be blind and stumbling. They were unjust in their decisions and they used to oppress people. Some will be deaf and dumb. They were proud and self-centered. And so on and so on. And there are 10 of these groups. I don't want to say too much, brothers and sisters, because mane tamari nindar haram nati karvi. I want you to, just look at the positives, and we say to ourselves that, oh Allah, you save us from this. But let's not be ignorant and let's not be oblivious. You see, that is the thing. To be oblivious and just say everything is fine and kainati thawanu and this and that is not right. So we'll have just a brief on this and then we will move on. So there is then a self-realization, a moment of realization. Unless we go through these stages of realization, we cannot mature and we cannot become that brilliant soul that Allah wants, which is ready to enter paradise. You see, in paradise, there is no negativity. There is no pollution. There is no evil. There is no gossip, no backbiting, no ill feeling, nothing. Heaven must and is only and only for goodness. That means before you can get to heaven, you must be rid of every kind of impurity. Otherwise, entry is not allowed. Until you are not purified, you will not enter. This is the rule of heaven. So we will have to go through these different elements and different stages to get the realization of what we are, how we deal with it, how we somehow get clean from it, how we understand Allah then, and then we qualify to enter into heaven. So these stages are necessary. So what happens is the human being will have to undertake a travel, not a physical travel per se. For example, let me ask you a question. Before we do any deed, before wuzu, before namaz, before anything, what do we say? I am doing this qurbatan ilallah, to seek nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This nearness to Allah, what is this nearness? If Allah is not physical, then what nearness are we trying to get? It is the nearness of our own understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the nearness of our consciousness with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the nearness we are trying to achieve. Now, if we didn't have enough nearness in this world, then in the hereafter now, we will have to seek this nearness and go through these different things. So now the journey of Qiyamah begins. This journey has different stages, different places, different phases, and we will have to pass through this. At this time, in all of this chaos, in all of these different people that we see in different shapes and sizes, some like animals, some like angels, there will be a group and they will start immediately raising the slogan. They will say, La ilaha illallah wa alayhi tawakkalna. There is no God but Allah, and on Him do we rely. Where did they take this from? From this world. Because in this world they were saying this. Because in this world, any musibat, any calamity, any issue used to come, they used to say, La ilaha illallah. My Lord is with me. Je thai, mara sathe maro khuda che. Whatever happens, I have my Lord with me. That belief was so strong in this world that they carry it with them in the hereafter. It's like a luggage that you pack in this world. It goes with you. So they will raise this slogan. There is no God but God, and on Him do we rely. As for those who are disbelievers, or they didn't have a strong belief in God, or no belief in God, they won't know what to do. They will be full of hesitation, confusion, and they won't know what's going on. People will eagerly be asking, what's going to happen now? What's next? What will happen? And they will seek out, if they can, those people from the world that knew about the akhirat. Maybe they will say, what was it again? Can you remind me? What did this sheikh from London say that day in our lectures? What was it? Can you tell me what's going to happen next? Where are we going? They'll be totally confused. But they will want to get this information. There is fear unless the angels come to help. And angels will be sent to help. Why not? Allah will not leave anyone alone on that day who deserves to be helped. Innal ladhina, this is Quran 41:30. Innal ladhina, beautiful verse. Qalu rabbuna Allah thumma istaqamu. Those who say at every juncture, Rabbuna Allah, our Lord is Allah, thumma istaqamu, and then they affirm in their resolve, they remain steadfast. Tatanazzalu alayhimul malaika. The angels will descend upon them, this world and that world. If in this world you had angels descending upon you because of your strong iman, in that world also they will descend upon you because you have strong iman. What will they say? Allah takhafu wa la tahzanu. Don't worry, don't be scared. We are with you. We will protect you. We will help you. Did you see the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This akhirat discussion is not to scare us. We should take it in the other way, that it's there to give us good news. وَأَبْشِرُوا بِالْجَنَّةِ الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ. Have a good news that for you there is paradise waiting for what you used to do. نَحْنُ أَوْلِيَاؤُكُمْ. Subhanallah. It can't get better than this. Angels will say, we are your friends and protectors. Don't worry. Nothing will happen to you. Don't worry. Everything is fine. فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ. In this world we will help you and the hereafter. Once all this happens, this initial reaction happens, then we will have the gathering and assembly of the Day of Judgment. All that chaos that was there from before will now start to become orderly and systematic. All the people will be gathered from all the different times, of all ages, of all genders, and they will all be pushed and herded towards their specific sections. Yes, there will be congestion. Yes, it will be difficult even to stand. It'll be difficult to even find room. Everyone will be thirsty and agitated. The heat will be intense because now there's a new sun. The sun will be very low, whatever that may be in scientific terms, we don't know. But the sun will be very low, close to us. So that heat will be very intense. And then the order of Allah will start. The systematic nature of the Day of Judgment. People will be pushed into sections. The angels will push them along. Generally speaking, people will be oblivious to what's happening to other people because you are so obsessed and consumed with your own situation on that day that you won't have time to look at what's happening to other people. So similar people will be grouped together. And then the journey begins. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Evaluate your deeds before they are evaluated for you. In this world we should be evaluating. Every night, it's a mu'min's duty. Imam Kazim alayhi salam says that Laysa minna man lam yuhasib nafsahu kulla yawm. He is not from us who doesn't do self-accounting every day. He has to count. What did I do today? Was this good? Was this bad? Did I do something good? If you did something good, then alhamdulillah, you thank Allah. If you did something bad, God forbid, then you seek forgiveness. If you hurt a mu'min, then you have to seek forgiveness from that mu'min. If you did ghibat about someone, you have to somehow make it halal with that person. You have to tell him, please forgive me if I've done anything wrong. Imam goes on to say, because Qayamat has 50 stations, each of which will be 1,000 of your years in duration. Hence the Holy Quran tells us that Qayamat will be 50,000 years. Different things will happen to different people. Some will be in complete darkness. Others will be illuminated and in light. Where does this light come from? It comes from the truth that you have in your soul. Did you take the proper beliefs and truths from this world into the hereafter? If you did, then alhamdulillah, those truths will shine. Those truths will illuminate you and the area around you. If you didn't work on it, if you didn't pay attention to it, if you didn't work so hard in this world on these things, then there's no light for you. It will be darkness. For some, these stages will last for years, hundreds of years, thousands of years. For others, they will pass in the twinkling of an eye. Others will reach heaven. The angels will ask them, did you go through accounting? They'll say, there wasn't any accounting for us. Did you go through the questioning? They'll say, there wasn't any questioning for us. Did you go through all these difficult stations? They'll say, what difficult stations? We didn't see anything. Because they were so pure and they were so good. They had such a level of faith and iman. They had such a level of trust in God that for them it was nothing. It was a twinkling of an eye. There was nothing to hisab. There was nothing to take them to account for. Their goodness, even if they had some slight issues, it's okay. Because the goodness of that person will drown out the evil of that person. The same can go on the other side. If you are full of evil and you have some good deeds, your evil will drown out your good deeds. So, some people will reach very quickly, others it will take years and years. One of the first stations or the first things that we read about in hadith is the perspiration of sin at the first station. So what will happen? For those who are able to become pure, God makes them sweat out the evil of their sins. This will be an intense level of like sweating out. It'll be very painful. From every pore, your evil will have to come. And it's not the same for everyone, because some people will not even have to do this. They are too pure already. They don't need to go through this. When that happens, when the majority of sins are washed away in this perspiration, then finally the awareness of Allah occurs. Allah. Are we aware of Him here? We should be, but we are not generally. We should be, but we are not. Why? Because of gунاह. Gунاह is the thing that is holding us back. During this week, I've had so many questions, mashallah, very good questions, very good comments. A lot of people asking different things. Usually I reply with one thing. Stop your gунاহ, you see how much blessings come to you. A man comes to Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam. He says, Mawla, I want to wake up for sahar time, but I can't. I really want to. I try my best, but I can't. You know what Mawla says to him? He says, Anta rajulun qad qayyadatka dhunubuk. You are a man. Your sins have prevented you from waking up for sahar time. If it wasn't for gунاহ, believe me, we would be in a different level. So, this awareness of Allah, what is preventing it? It's the sins that we do. Otherwise, even now, we would be intensely aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, we don't know all of these 50 stations that our sixth Imam has said. We don't know them all. Some have been mentioned, some have not. I'm going to mention just a few of the main ones with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. One station is the opening of the book. Which book? Do you remember? Which book? The book which was opened by Ruman. We wrote in it all of our memories. It was closed, it got absorbed. That will now come out and it will have to be opened again. So now you'll have to display your deeds in front of everybody. Deeds and conduct. Will this be in the form of writing? No. These will now take forms themselves, because everything we did in the akhirat will take a form. It will take the qiyamati form. So, it won't be like writing on a page. We'll actually see things. People will see things. Another one, which is a very, very scary one. Even Aimma alayhimus salam would tremble at the mention of this one. Not because they are sinners, na'udhu billah. We don't believe in any sin of any ma'asum. We don't even believe in a makruh. We don't even believe that ma'asum can do tarke awla. Their lives was as perfect as you can imagine. However, their humility was also on the next level. They used to tremble at this. The displaying of actions in front of Allah. Okay, Khuda, now I have to show you what I've done. Of course, He knows already, but now it's real, yeah? Now it has become real that I have to open this book and show my Lord what I have done. Everything will be exposed. It will be very difficult. You will feel shame. We will feel embarrassment. It is reported that whenever Imam Hassan alayhi salam would think of this station, he would sigh and fall unconscious. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Some people, it's just unbelievable how in this world they made themselves, even at that time of showing Allah the book, this book which was written with the help of Roman and absorbed and now it's come out again, even at that time they will start making excuses. Even at that time they will start to lie. Even at that time they will start to try to convince Allah that it wasn't them. Even at that time. Why? Because of the habits of this world. In this world they never wanted to face reality. They never wanted to admit that they had done anything wrong. They wanted to live in this kind of cuckoo world. While over there it's not going to work. They will try, but they will fail. They will try to blame another person. They will try to take their book and hang it on the neck of another person. And that one will try to take it and hang it on the neck of another one. It's not going to work. Once this is done, all this hisab, kitab and all of this stuff is done, everyone, every single person will feel utterly satisfied. No one will complain. No one will. In this world we complain, right? In this world, if we have a dispute between two mu'mins and we say, okay, let's go to a third person to adjudicate, still we are not happy. Yeah? In the hereafter, this won't happen. In the hereafter, when Allah adjudicates, everyone will be satisfied. There will be no complaints at all. The scroll of deeds will be handed back. Then it depends where you get your deeds. If it's given to you behind your back or in your left hand, then it's a bad sign. It's a sign that you have not been successful. Inshallah, we are those who given it in our right hands, Ashabul Yameen. And we want that because that shows we are successful. Now, what does this mean exactly about left hand, right hand, behind the back? Again, metaphorical. We don't know exactly literally what it means, but we have an idea that it depends how you are given your scroll of deeds back. Then we will have a station of the testimony of the witnesses. The witnesses will be brought forward. Who are the witnesses? This is very, very interesting. The witnesses, in Arabic, shaheed has two meanings. Witness and martyr, correct? Shaheed can also mean witness. Who are these shaheeds? From every nation, their prophet will be their shaheed. So who will be our shaheed and our witness? Rasulullah himself. Rasulullah. We have to present our deeds in front of the Holy Prophet. We have to present our deeds in front of Amirul Mu'mineen. We have to present our deeds in front of Janab Fatima. Imagine. We have to present our deeds. In fact, is that happening right now? It is. Twice a week, our Imam Zamana, Ajalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, receives our deeds. The angels take to him the deeds of his Shias. When he sees something in there that is good, he becomes happy. When he sees something in there which is bad, he becomes sad. So the witnesses will be brought forward to witness what we have done. Then we have the station of accounting, which is, the judging of the deeds. These deeds will be judged how? These deeds will be judged. Basically, to make it very short and simple, they will be judged according to haqq, truth. وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ haqq. The scale on that day will be haqq. How much truth do you have in your deeds? Now what does that mean? How much truth? One interpretation is this. One interpretation is, how do your deeds stand up against the deeds of the ultimate truthful one, Amirul Mu'mineen? How much are you matching with Amirul Mu'mineen? How much have you tried to make yourself like Amirul Mu'mineen? Of course, we can't be exactly like Amirul Mu'mineen, but have we tried? Have we tried to be a bit like him? One day, Amirul Mu'mineen and Janab Salman Farsi were walking. Amirul Mu'mineen was walking in front. Janab Salman was behind him. When Amirul Mu'mineen looked back, he saw only one set of footprints. He said, Salman, what have you done? He said, Mawla, I have stepped exactly where you stepped. Because Rasulullah says, wherever Ali goes, you go with him. Whatever he does, you do it. Aliyun ma'al haq wal haqqu ma'a Ali. Although this was not Rasulullah's actual, it wasn't meant to be taken that literally, that you step exactly in the footprints of Amirul Mu'mineen. But look at Salman, look how careful he is. Even in this, he doesn't want to take a chance. He's saying, I will even put my foot in the footprint of Amirul Mu'mineen. You know, Rasulullah, regarding Salman, Salman is just next level. Next level Salman. If you want to see the true servant of Ali Muhammad, it is Salman Farsi. There's a hadith, if Iman has 10 parts, Miqdad has 8, Abu Dhar has 9, Salman has 10. Salman. So one interpretation is this, that you match yourself according to Aimma alayhimus salam. Of course, you can't get there. They are far, far, far ahead. They are sinless. We cannot match them. But can we try? Can we try? I'm sure we can. As much as we can do. And then the rest we say, Allah forgive us. We couldn't match 100%, but at least we tried. Now, after that, we have the Sirat. What is the Sirat? After all of this Hisab, Kitab, Mizan, Wazan, Haqq, all of these things, hopefully we are ready now to proceed towards paradise. There's one thing left to do, and that is to cross the Sirat, Pule Sirat, the bridge of Sirat. Sirat itself will have multiple places to stop. Sirat itself will have multiple places. Now where is Sirat? If you imagine Sirat, let's use this mimbar for a moment. If Sirat starts here and ends here, this is heaven on the other side. Underneath will be the fire of hell. So if you fall from Sirat, you end up in hell. If you pass Sirat, you will end up in heaven. So Sirat is the very much crucial part of Qiyamah. Sirat. For most people, this will be a number of stops. It'll be an ordeal. It'll be time-consuming. It'll be scary. There will be stations all along the Sirat. Some people will cross it very quickly and very easily. Some people will not even know that there was a Sirat. Some people will be taken like a bolt of lightning across. Some people will have to stop again and again. The angels will help. Rasulullah will help. Aimma alayhimus salam will help. Some people will have a very straight Sirat. Some people will have a crooked, twisted, turning, awkward Sirat. Where do these crooks and turns and awkwardness, where does it come from? From this world. We made religion very complicated, crooked, always never really submitting, always wanting a justification for everything. Yes, inshallah, when we get a justification, it's good, but what if we don't? There is a thing called submission in Islam. We made religion very, very twisted and very, very complicated and this and that, and we were always with doubts and doubts. Those people who were very, very sada, simple people, they said, we believe, Rabbuna Allah, we believe, we submit, and we cross. What are these stations? Sheikh Saduq says, one of the stations on Sirat is the station of wilayat. All mankind will have to stop and answer, did you give allegiance to Amirul Mu'mineen and the Imams or not? This is where we can feel confident. This is where I believe our Imams will come to our help. This is where our Iman counts for so much. This is where our faith will really, really come in handy. One station is about Silatul Rahim. How did you keep your family ties? One station is about Amanat. Did you return Amanat which was given to you? Amanat comes in different forms. One of the Amanats is secrets of Mu'mineen. I often, really, it brings a tear to my eye and a smile to my face as well. I often say, if you want your issue and your talk to spread amongst the community, just tell someone, bhai, koi ne nahi keto, and it will be spread. It will be spread. Amanat also applies to words, also applies to secrets, also applies to people's confidences. Amanat will be asked. Another one is namaz. Namaz will be asked. We're going to come on to namaz in the next few lectures. The truth is that what Sirat does is it forces us to come to a increased consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of these things are being hisabed and accounted. Why? Because Allah wants us to get rid of this darkness and fill it with light. His light. Light of His ma'rifat. So there are two paths essentially. One path will go to heaven, one path will go to hell. Not everyone will reach heaven, sadly. And the role of the Sirat is to complete any shortcomings and shortfalls in people, allowing them to qualify for heaven. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. One of the names of Qiyamah is Yawmul Fasl. Last point before we finish. Yawmul Fasl. Yawmul Fasl means day of separation. Because people will be separated. You may see, for example, your friends, your neighbors, even your family members maybe, are on a different path. They will say, were we not together in the world? But they will say, yeah, but this is not the world now. Those things are not applicable here. So people will separate. Those with light will have a different kind of trajectory, and those with darkness will have a different one. Those with darkness will suffer, they will regret, they will weep, they will run away from everyone. He will also understand, this person with darkness, he will also understand, I am not compatible with God and godliness and goodness yet. He will come to that realization. But those with light, they will have nothing negative to say. They will be happy. They will be in the company of the awliya, and they will pray for others. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us in this group with the light, to cross quickly into heaven inshallah with the help of Amirul Mu'mineen and the Aimma alayhimus salam. Oh Allah, if we have sinned, oh Allah, forgive our sins. Bless our marhumeen. Keep us united and together. Keep us strong as a community. Allow us to achieve our ambitions and goals. Hasten the appearance of the 12th Imam. Rabbana taqabbal minna, innaka anta samiul alim. For the zuhur of Wali Asr, 3 loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.